Hello, 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 hello everyone. Grabe guys, naku, mga abogado sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo ay talagang na-disappoint sa mga abogado natin dito sa Pilipinas for alam mo yung may constitutional crisis daw yung Pilipinas guys, grabe. Ito yung post ni Anthony Ludalve Vista. Ito yung post nyo guys, sabi niya guys dito oh. So, ito nga yung post niya guys, Anthony Ludalvi Vista noong April 12, In the Shadow of the Hague, a Filipino lawyer's reflection from the wrong conversation at the right time. So, nagpunta pala, may inatinan siya guys na global conference of internationally trained lawyers. So, mga lawyers, no, yung nag-conference. So, a remarkable gathering of legal professions from across Asia, Europe, North and South America, Africa, and Australia. The room was filled with accomplished individuals, former prosecutors, government officials, litigators, solicitors, barristers, and law firm partners. It was a forum brimming with experience, intellect, and deep respect for the rule of law. So, ilan-ilan lang daw sila na Pilipino yung umattend, parang 4 lang daw yata. So now, by coincidence or fate, I happened to be seated at the wrong conversation at exactly the right time. So, the arrest and transfer of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte to The Hague was unfolding. And it became a dominant topic of conversation. O, di ba? Naging, guys, sobra, sumikat tuloy si PRRD, guys, nang dahil dito. Grabe, no? As soon as the subject was raised, all eyes turned to me. I was a Filipino at the table, and the questions came almost immediately. Clear, direct, and unrelenting. So guys, grabe. Tinanong siya ng mga lawyers galing iba't ibang bansa, guys. Why wasn't Duterte brought before a Philippine court before being flown to The Hague? Doesn't your constitution require a judicial warrant? 'Di ba? Tinanong pa siya tungkol sa konstitusyon natin, no? Buti pa sila alam nila yung konstitusyon, pero yung dumakip, guys, grabe. Yung mga DOJ na yan, yung mga PNP na yan, grabe. Doesn't the Rome Statute, particularly Article 59, require local court review prior to any surrender? O, di ba? Kailangan pa review ng isang local court yung warrant of arrest prior to any surrender. Grabe. Guys, grabe oh. Sabi niya, I found myself repeating the government's official line, stating that Section 17 of Republic Act number 9851 allows the Philippine government to dispense with local prosecution and cooperate with an international tribunal. I did not defend the government. I simply recited their justification. So, sinagot niya yung sagot ng gobyerno, guys, pag tinanong mo tungkol dito. Hindi daw niya dinedepensahan yung gobyerno, sinabi lang niya yung justification nila. But the lawyers at the table were not convinced, nor were they unfamiliar with the law. A barrister from the UK shook his head slightly and said, "Your constitution is clear. Arrest require judicial intervention." O, di ba? Buti pa yung taga-UK, guys. Alam nila yung constitution natin. Your constitution is clear daw. Arrests require judicial intervention. The Rome Statute does not allow executive shortcuts. It expressly requires that the accused be brought before a competent court of the custodial state before transfer. Oh, buti pa yung taga-Canada, guys. Alam nila. Taga-UK, alam nila yung constitution natin. They had read our constitution. Oh, tingnan mo. Pinag-aralan, binasa nila yung constitution natin. They knew Article 59 and they saw a contradiction I could not deny. Oh, mismo siya, hindi niya ma-deny. Sapul na sapul siya kasi, di ba, alam nila yung constitution natin. Another asked whether such bypassing of judicial review is common in the Philippines. O nagtanong daw na kung ganun ba daw talaga sa Pilipinas, binabypass yung judicial review. I paused, napapost siya. Then smiled faintly. Grabe, no? Napahiya tuloy siya. Not because I didn't know the answer, but because I was embarrassed. Di ba? Na-embarrass siya, guys, to admit what they had already inferred. There was no defense to give. I fell silent. Di ba? Na-embarrass siya, guys, kasi totoo naman talaga. Binaypas nila yung judicial natin. At talaga wala nang, guys, wala nang kwenta yung Supreme Court natin, wala nang kwenta yan dahil sa ginawa nila. I realized in that moment that I was not being interrogated. I was being asked to reconcile the law with what had just happened. I could not. I was sitting with lawyers who had spent their lives upholding their legal systems and who expected that ours would do the same. The conversation shifted to the critical hours before Duterte's departure. So, yung pinag-usapan na naman daw nila is yung critical hour before nilipad si PRRD. One Canadian lawyer asked whether any court in the Philippines had issued a temporary restraining order or TRO while Duterte was still at the airport, awaiting his flight to The Hague. I explained that a petition, di ba? Nagtanong daw yung mga attorney, mga lawyer, kung wala ba daw na isang court sa Pilipinas ang nag-issue ng TRO while Duterte was still at the airport, awaiting his flight to The Hague. I explained that a petition had been filed seeking immediate injunctive relief but no TRO was granted. O, di ba? In-explain niya na merong nag-file ng petition pero walang TRO na lumabas. He responded almost instinctively that if it had happened in Canada, the Supreme Court or even a lower court would have promptly issued a TRO to preserve the individual's liberty until the legal questions could be fully resolved. O, di ba? Di ba na file yung bigay yung petition, guys. Wala na, ilang oras na lang magko-close na yung Supreme Court, 5 p.m. 4 p.m. lang yata magko-close. Ilang oras na lang. So wala talagang TRO. Pero guys, even though sa ibang bansa, kung sa Canada daw yun nangyari, kung sa Canada daw yun nangyari, ay instinctively, agad-agad, maglalabas ng TRO yung Supreme Court nila. Pero guys, dito sa Pilipinas, wow. Sa tingin nyo, bayad kaya yung Supreme Court din? Sa tingin nyo, sa totoo lang ha, kay bangag kaya din yan? Alam nyo, bayad. Alam nyo, hindi talaga, most of my videos talaga, guys, hindi ko tinatawag na bangag yung presidente natin, guys. Pero ngayon, guys, talagang, nako, nakakagalit talaga, no? Grabe. Pati yung Supreme Court natin, nako, instinctively, kung sa Canada daw yun nangyari, grabe. What struck me most was not their criticism, but their confusion. How stunned they were that the Philippines, with a constitution so deeply rooted in due process and rule of law principles, would allow its executive branch to surrender a former head of state to a foreign tribunal without judicial involvement. Correct. To them, it was not just a legal flaw. It was a constitutional crisis. Di ba? May constitutional crisis ang Pilipinas, guys. Kasi hindi na sinusunod. Binabayaran na lahat. Oo. Nako, grabe. And yet, back home, the issue is still debated as if the law is vague or the situation unprecedented. Di ba? Dito sa Pilipinas, dedebatehan pa na yung ibig sabihin ng mga law, yung mga ganun-ganun, pinagdedebatehan pa guys, lalo na sa hearing. Yeah, alam niyo yung Senate hearing ni Amy Marcos, pinagdedebatehan pa nila kahit sobrang mali talaga yung ginawa nila. But to the lawyers in that room, seasoned professionals who understood both domestic and international law, it was neither. They understood that was required. And they knew it had not been followed. Totoo yan. Hindi po talaga sinunod. Grabe. I left that table feeling what I had not expected. A profound sense of shame. Tama lang. Dapat yung Supreme Court din mahiya. Dapat yung mga secretary, alam mo yung Department of Justice, dapat, nako, ikahiya po natin yung Secretary of Justice natin, yung PNP natin, nakakahiya talaga yung ginawa nila. Grabe, tingnan mo. Siya tuloy yung nahiya, oh. Lawyer lang siya, guys. Normal na lawyer. 'Di ba? Pero yung mga DOJ, hindi sila nahiya. Grabe. Not because I was Filipino, but because I had nothing to offer in defense of what my country's leaders had done. Nahiya daw siya, guys, kasi wala daw siyang nagawa to defend our country kung anong ginawa ng mga leaders, no? I did not feel small. I felt disarmed. It is a particular kind of silence, one that comes when your own laws are quoted back to you by foreign colleagues who simply want to understand why they were ignored. O, di ba? Nakakahiya, guys, kasi kino-quote nila yung law natin back na bakit hindi ito nasunod. Di ba? O, tingnan nyo. I don't blame them for asking. I would have asked the same if I were in their place. And I cannot forget the way they looked at me. Not with accusation, but with disappointment. As if they had hoped for a better answer. Grabe, no? Disappointed yung mga abogado, guys, sa mga abogado natin dito sa Supreme Court natin dito sa Pilipinas. I left the conversation not defeated but resolved. Our laws deserve more than lip service. Totoo yan. They deserve enforcement, correct. They deserve fidelity. And if our institutions fail to defend them, then those of us who understand them must speak, not just in court, but wherever the world listens. Even if it's a round table of strangers in a foreign land during wrong conversation at the right time. Grabe, no? Wow! Laking sampal sa atin talaga yung nangyari. Guys, anong masasabi nyo? Kayo na. Nasa inyo na yung desisyon.